Well, I finally did it. I got my fingerprints done just now. My fingers are pretty clean. I cleaned them and moisturized them for the machine, the scanner. But I thought what I would do is just go over briefly the entire process, just for those people who haven't done it. Their handgun carry permit, their CCW. Just to let you know that it's really not that hard to do. Of course, I say that now. It took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks just to get everything done. And that's just because I wasn't in a real big hurry. But I went and took my course. This is for Tennessee now. And the course I took was an 8-hour course. There was a shooting. I've got an earlier video I'll reference. I'll put a link up to it, where I took the course, and there was a written test. I did well on that. I made 100 on that, and I passed the shooting test. I think you had to get 43 shots out of 48 in the black, and I got all of them in the black. Then after I got my certificate, my course certificate, which was handed to me the same day, a few days later I took it to my Department of Safety, basically where you get your driver's license. And I did notice that they changed it to the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. I didn't realize that. And so it made sense as to why I had to go to the driver's license place at that point, I guess. But anyway, I picked up an application there, filled it out. There was a long line, so I actually took it home and filled it out. And took it back today, this morning, and it was, I got the application. It took me about 30 minutes to wait in line for that, and then I had to pay $155, but that gets you, I'm sorry, $115. That gets you for 4 years. The permit is good for 4 years, and you can renew by mail. So I'm not sure what the renewal fee is going to be. So once I turned in the application to the Department of Safety, after I took my course, they gave me a number to call to schedule getting my fingerprints done, taken. And I called them immediately after I left the Department of Safety, and schedule an appointment about 2 hours later to go do it. And so that's what I just completed, was the fingerprinting is pretty extensive. They fingerprint your entire hand, and then they go back and they fingerprint both your hands, and then they go back and roll all 10 individual fingers on there. So it's pretty extensive, but it doesn't take but a few minutes. And that is by appointment. So I walked in here locally. It was actually at a UPS location, where I know it's a separate company, but for some reason it was at the UPS store. And so that only took a few minutes, really. It wasn't a big deal because you do it by appointment. And so now I just have to wait 90 days, I think they say, is what it will take, and my permit will come in the mail. So I feel pretty good. Again, I probably won't carry all the time every day, just because I spend a lot of time in places where you're not allowed to carry. And I'm mainly doing this to be a registered permit holder, just to have the option. And also, I think the more people, the better to get their permit, even if they're not going to carry every day in every situation. The more the better. So that's one reason why I'm doing it. Every now and then we'll get into some situations where I'm working in some shaky areas. Of course, we try to stay out of those areas, but you'll run into places where there's a high theft for materials, or that kind of thing. But I don't really worry about that. Like I say, I don't live in fear. I'm not as nervous as a lot of people are. Again, I'm just doing this mainly to exercise my Second Amendment rights. Now, I say that, I don't feel like I should have to go through as much as I went through to get a handgun carry permit. But that's something I'll have to do to, lobby my state senators and congressmen or whatever. So anyway, it wasn't bad. Again, real briefly, it was an 8-hour course, an application, a fee, and getting permit, get your fingerprints taken, and all that took me about, I guess, 3 weeks. Like I said, I wasn't in a big hurry, but now it'll take about 90 days. So I just want to encourage everybody to get out there and get it done. It's a little expensive, but I figured it's only about 5 boxes of ammo, so I can skip around a trip to the range for that. It's not a big deal. And so the other thing I want to do too is this is kind of a part of a bigger scheme for me. I'm also going to be registering for some NRA training, instructor training, because what I want to do is I want to be a merit badge counselor for the Boy Scouts, and to be for the rifle shooting merit badge. And to do that, you have to be NRA, like an NRA certified instructor. So I want to become sort of the basic NRA instructor, the basic rifle shooting instructor, so I can be a merit badge counselor for Boy Scouts, for my son's troop and other troops in the area too. There's not a whole lot of guys in my area apparently that are certified. There's only a couple actually. So it's kind of a pain when a Boy Scout wants to be, to get his rifle shooting merit badge. It's kind of a pain for them to do so. So I'd like to help out with that too. So I know that's not connected to my CCW, but it's just a little bit of training I thought I'd give myself before I went for the NRA instructor training. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. It's a beautiful day. I hate to see all the bad weather up north. I know you guys are getting the snow and stuff, but it's pretty here. I'm not going to say nanny boo boo or anything like that, but but anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Just wanted to let you know I got that done.